And I think you feel like something knock the book out of your hands, and the pages start to move it, and you feel sort of a divine force, almost like Istis's hand is sort of like guiding you once again with the hand of fate to look at this journal that you have recovered, despite the fact that you are standing in the fucking danger zone. You open up Isaac's journal at sort of the behest of fate, and it is open to the next to final entry in the journal. Isaac's next to last entry in Isaac's journal reads, "My daddy was a safety inspector for mines operating all throughout the northern counties of the Sword Coast, and as you might imagine, that made for a very cautious upbringing for myself and my kin. Every bit of wisdom my old man passed on to me dealt with how to avoid the dangers of the world outside our cottage's doors, how to evade bandits and ward off hungry beasts in the wilds, and how to prevent accidental hazards in the home, stuff like that, but nothing prepared me for today. Nothing prepared me for that fucking cup." And I just want to paint the picture of you like reading this as clay is like climbing up your legs and waist. You continue reading. "From the moment I saw it, I knew there was nothing I wouldn't do to get that cup. I just didn't know why. I trusted myself to resist that temptation, to put it back toward the back of my mind, to focus on the hard work of bringing this diamond mine back to life. And today I faltered just for a moment, and I ruined 3 lives in the process. I killed Jack. That's my first time thinking that thought, not protecting myself from the awful truth of what I've done. We were looking for June in the mines together. She's wont to get lost in the mines. And I could just tell he had it on him. That cup had a tight grip on my guts. I could feel it through a 6-foot-thick lead wall. And I did it as quickly as I could, as cowardly as I could. I pushed him over the edge of Shaft B. And he fell. As he fell, he turned to face me, and he shouted his last word. It was a spell that he flung in my direction. And in that moment, just after dooming him, I prayed it was some kind of killing curse. But he missed. It flew over my head as he sank into the black below. And when I looked behind me, I saw my prize. The cup I had killed my very best friend for, in June's hands. She grabbed it right where he dropped it. Only by perfect irony, she was frozen in place right there by a barrier that I just cannot penetrate, shielded by a power that I craved enough to kill for. There's nothing I can do to get her out of that state. I tried it all. And there's nothing I can do for refuge, now that she's trapped us all in here too. I deserve damnation for what I've done. Refuge doesn't." That's the next to last entry. And as the clay is like almost completely overtaken you, you read the final entry, which says, "I figured out what that spell was. Jack's last spell. He conjured an earth elemental, a guardian, to protect June, protect all of Refuge in his absence. I met it just on the outskirts of town. Refuge deserves a better guardian than myself, that's for sure. So I equipped them with some gear, gave them a name, Roswell, for my dad, and set them on patrol using the summoning spell's command word. And that word might be the hardest thing to stomach. It was Jack's dying wish, his hopes for a safer life for his daughter and his home, manifest into a single word, his final thought. So you read this final word just as the clay is about to overtake your head.
Junebug.
And just as quickly as this monstrosity had sort of exploded and enveloped everything in this room, the clay contracts and is pulled back into Roswell's sort of base form. And you see them standing there, and Roswell says, "What would you like me to do?"